Some concepts of this course that are really important, at least for me personally, is the concept of unlearning. Like, the whole course is based off of the idea of, like, disability is not something to look down upon or feel as awkward or uncomfortable around. They're just people just like us. They may have more struggles than we do, or different kinds of struggles than we do, but they're still living life just the way we do. And the way we go about that is changing the language we use. I help out at a camp every summer called Johnny and Friends. And it's a camp for disabled children and adults and their families to go and just have a break, and you're buddied up with a camper for a week. That's a huge part of it, is the language. So instead of saying like, oh, you're retarded, it's like, no, they're not retarded. That's such a cut down. It's like they might process things differently than we do, or they might struggle to say something. So they just speak slower, or you just have to have the patience to sit there and figure out how to communicate with them. So I think for me the biggest concept is the unlearning of the stigma of disability. This course is great. Bettina is a fantastic teacher. She's very clear and gets straight to the point, and there's never any hidden surprises. So if you're looking for the class that you know right up front what's offered and what you need to do, it's all there for you, rather than like, surprise, you're taking this, or surprise, you have to do this extra paper. It's all there, all laid out, and it's a really fun atmosphere. No one feels awkward sharing anything. So the atmosphere is great, Bettina is great. Overall, the class is just really informative.
So I think the main concept would be the unlearning process that you take away from taking the 196F course, because you unlearn certain things, which I know is kind of a strange word. You don't really hear it. You're always learning things at a university or any kind of college, but to really unlearn something takes a lot more effort, and so that is one skill that we've acquired from taking this course, which is really cool. So it's a lot about language and how we use language, towards persons with disabilities instead of a disabled person. For example, that is one concept of the unlearning process, which we constantly have to think about. Instead of learning to say it, we have to unlearn how to say it differently. So that would be one of the concepts. So this course would have changed my perception on persons with disabilities, because having a disability myself, I obviously have an invisible disability. You can't see. I'm not in a wheelchair. I don't have a cane because I'm not blind. But views upon my own disability when I was coming into this course have quite changed. That there's a lot more openness here on campus, and they're such a great group of students in this class that really made me feel supportive, even though I never actually disclosed my own disability to the class. So that was definitely a great experience. So one tip that I would give to anyone wanting to take this course would be to go in with an open mind. Really think about what your concept of disability is already standing, and then obviously you'll get to reflect on it at the end of the semester, how much it's changed. So really keep an open mind, because a lot of what you thought was socially acceptable and was against the stigmas of people with disabilities, really it really opens your eyes to certain things you already know that are wrong, actually. So one thing I would definitely have taken away from the Disability at Work event was that I could relate it from the 196F class to that specific event that we hosted, because she talked specifically about language changes, how they changed the name to expandability, because it's in a more inclusive name. And then the fact that Victor had talked so well, which it just blows my mind, because I love to speak. Speaking is something I really do like. And he has to do it without any note cards. And he gives a prompt, and he has to, think about ways to transition, and everything flowed very well. So that was very inspiring to see that. And I hope, to take some of those concepts away to you, that anyone, could be a great speaker.